بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. Come to the seventh nullifier from the 10 nullifiers that have been collected in this book. And it is as we mentioned last week, it is as if the Shaykh is writing for every time and every age and every place, because this seventh naqd is prevalent amongst us in our society, wherever we come from. And that is to be a practitioner of magic or as-sihr. And there are different types of magic. He mentioned to be a practitioner, a practicer of magic, including the magic that causes discord, or the magic that is known as as-sarf, to change something, like a nahu and as-sarf, how the word changes. So that's a type of magic that causes people's hearts to be against one another, especially the husband towards the wife or the wife towards the husband. Or the magic of al-atif, which is causing love and affection and attachment to someone or to something. So either the person, if he is a practitioner of sihr, he goes outside of Islam, or if is a person who is pleased with magic, he goes outside of the religion of Islam. Al-Imam Al-Dhahabi, rahimahullah ta'ala, in his book Kitab al-Kaba'ir, he brings magic as the third major sin. Due to the hadith that's in Bukhari and Muslim, Abu Hurairah, he said that the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, ijtanibu as-sab'a al-mubiqat. Stay away from the 7 sins that will destroy you, and there'll be a cause and a sabab for a person's ihlak. Stay away from these 7 ones. And he mentioned from amongst them as-sihr. So magic is a major sin from the sins of Islam, and is not minor, because of the evil that is entailed, and the evil that comes and the harm that comes as a result of it. For no reason should a Muslim learn magic. There was a famous sheikh, he has died, rahmatullah alayhi. He had mentioned that you can learn magic to push back magic. And the dunya stood up against him and made inkar against him. The strange thing is, it was a sheikh of the brothers who go overboard. And when the people went against the sheikh who said that, rahmatullah alayhi, they found it hard to say, yeah, the sheikh was mistaken. But the point is, you can't learn magic for anything. You have to stay away from magic. As-sihr. Allah mentioned in the Quran, la yuflihu as-sahir haythu ata. The magician will never be successful. No matter what he comes with, from where he comes from, whatever, he will never be successful. Allah made inkar on the magicians on the lisan of Musa, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. فَتَأْتُونَ السِّحْرَ وَأَنْتُمْ تُبْصِرُونَ. You people do magic and you're supposed to have knowledge. Why would you come to magic? Magic is harmful, it's evil. It's not from what Allah Azza wa Jal has revealed. Magic is from the major sins and it has to be avoided. What the Muslim does is he learns from the religion how to deal with magic. So we have to believe in it. We have to believe in it. And we have to know that Allah has sent down the dawah for magic. We can't be like the people who disbelieve in magic. By the Lord of the Kaaba, our Nabi and our Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam suhira. And he was mashura. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And that's why the last two surahs of the Quran were revealed. Did that affect and impact the revelation? Kalla wallahi. This is what happened. You remember from the nawaqid of al-Islam we talked about a few weeks ago, a person making istihza about the thawab that Allah mentioned in the Quran or the Sunnah, the huru'in, for an example, making istihza about the iqab and the istihza that people have concerning some of the fitan that happened with some of the salihin, like the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He had magic put on him. So for a person to reject and disbelieve in magic is a problem. So we look at those issues through the prism of the religion. Don't go too far to the right. Don't go too far to the left. Everything is not magic. Everything is not ayn. So we're going to blame everything on magic, everything on the evil eye? No. No, we're going to negate it and reject it. We're going to be right in the middle. So concerning the issue of magic, whoever comes to magic, we have to understand, again, as we mentioned many times, got to be careful with the book. Many people who make takfir, they use this book and they make takfir on people easily. Every type of magic is not magic that takes you outside of Islam. So those magicians who do the sleight of hand, they do tricks with their hands, tricks with cards, tricks, and they're just optical illusions. They're not real. Although that is magic, that's not the magic that this is talking about. That magic is haram because it's kadhib. That magic is haram because it's a waste of time. It doesn't bring people close to Allah. And it's in the family of magic. But a person who does those tricks, he's not a non-Muslim. He doesn't go outside of Islam. But nonetheless, Muslims should be careful because I have experienced where on the day of their Eid, the community brings magicians to the Eid grounds. And one year they had a magician and he had a monkey. They were doing a lot of tricks. Leave the monkey. Let him play with the monkey. Let him play with the parrot. Play games, but no magic tricks. Concerning the issue of magic, it's haram by the ittifaq and the ijma' of the Muslims, the ulama of Islam. Allah mentioned about Sulaiman. And the Yahud back then used to engage in a lot of magic. They were in Egypt. They were exposed to what Pharaoh did. Pharaoh had those magicians who accepted and embraced al-Islam. May Allah be pleased with them and put us in the Jannat al-Firdaus along with them, inshallah. Put us into the Jannat al-Firdaus. So in their religion, there's magic to this day, to this very day. And they used to accuse Sulaiman of being a magician. وَحَاشَ لِلَّهِ. Allah mentioned in the Quran, وَاتَّبَعُوا مَا تَتْلُو الشَّيَاطِينُ عَلَى مُلْكِ سُلَيْمَانَ وَمَا كَفَرَ سُلَيْمَانُ وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ كَفَرُوا يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ عَلَى الْمَلَكَيْنِ بِبَابِلَ هَارُوتَ وَمَارُوتَ وما يعلمان من أحد حتى يقولا إنما نحن فتنة فلا تكفر ويتعلمون منهما ما يفرقون به بين المرء وزوجه. And this is what the Shaykh is mentioning here. The ayah said, and they followed the Yahud and the disbelievers from the Yahud. They followed what the shayateen used to read during the time of Sulaiman. Suleiman didn't disbelieve. That's Allah negating, making a nephew. Suleiman didn't disbelieve, as the Yahud said he disbelieved. He did not disbelieve. They followed the shayateen. And those shayateen, they used to teach the people what came down on the two angels at Babylon, the angel Harut and Marut. And those two angels, they were a fitna and a trial for the people that Allah Azza wa Jalla sent to test the people. They do what they're ordered to do, and Allah does what he wants to do. So whenever those two angels would come out to teach the people magic, and some scholars said they didn't teach them magic. It's ikhtilaf in the tafsir. When they came out to teach them magic, the two angels said, we are fitna for you, teaching you this magic, so don't disbelieve. We're just a test for you. So they taught them that which would divide and separate a man from his wife. So this ayat has 4 aspects to it, all of which show the impermissibility of magic. Allah negated Suleiman being a disbeliever because of magic. Suleiman didn't disbelieve by learning magic. The two angels, they said to the people, we are fitna for you. So that don't takfur, don't be a disbeliever. Learning magic is kufrun billah. And the people learn from them what divides a man from his wife. And the end of the ayat Allah mentioned, وَلَبِئْسَ مَا شَرُوا بِهِ أَنفُسَهُمْ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. It was a terrible thing that they purchased for themselves, this magic, if they only knew. So magic, from this ayat, why it was revealed, the history behind it, goes to show that magic is not permissible. In the ayat, the issue is mentioned that the people learned magic and how to divide a man from his wife, separate a man. And that's what the Sheikh said. As-Sarf and Al-Ataf. As-Sarf is the magic potion, the magic spell that someone can put on a man and he hates his wife. May Allah protect us from that. The wife hates the husband, just like that. They're living, and he sees his wife as his queen, as his soulmate, and vice versa. And just like that, he doesn't want to touch his wife. He doesn't want his wife to touch him. He doesn't want to be close to her. He doesn't want her to be close to him. And if he were to try to have relationships with her, maybe he can't. He doesn't get excited. For an example, he doesn't want her. He can't, even if he wanted. The lady doesn't want to be touched by him, to have relationships with him, and so forth and so on. This happens. So that's what he's mentioning. And people do these potions and these magic spells on people. Non-Muslims may say, you people believe in that? Hocus pocus, you people. We say, Allahumma na'am. Wallahi, we believe in that. What's the problem? What's the problem that we believe in that? Magic is something that has always been around. And magicians, like comedians, like athletes, will always occupy the upper echelon in the minds of the people, because they're from the biggest distractions that a shaitan uses to make people forget about Allah, make people make shirk with Allah. And as-sihr, it leads to kufr and shirk. There was a companion, 3 companions actually. One was Al-Walid ibn Uqba, who was the brother of Uthman ibn Affan from his mother's side. And Al-Walid, may Allah be pleased with him, he was the leader and the wali over Medina. He had some issues, may Allah be pleased with him. The Prophet sent him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to go and get the zakat from a tribe. And he had some drama with that tribe in Jahiliyyah. He was going to get the money, but then he remembered, we used to have problems with them. They may kill me. So he turned around without going to him. And he said, Ya Rasulullah, they refused to give me the zakat. Rasulullah set out to deal with them. And then the ayat was revealed in Ja'akum fasiqum binaba'in fatabayyanu. Al-Walid is not a fasiq. If a fasiq comes to you with news, ascertain. He's not a fasiq. That's why that ayat was revealed. Al-Walid ibn Uqba as well used to have issues with Khamr radiyallahu anhu. And he was flogged for it as well. But he's a companion. And by the Lord of the Kaaba, he's in the Jannah. And we ask Allah to put us close to wherever Walid ibn Uqba is. May Allah be pleased with him. Tremendous companion. He was the leader of the people. He had a magician in front of the people, entertaining the people. The magician was doing tricks. And the people were in awe of what was happening, just being entertained. And the companion Jundub ibn Aus, radiyallahu anhu, he came, and without saying anything, he took his sword out and he chopped that man's head off in front of everybody. The audience saw what happened and they got up. When he turned towards them, everybody got up and he started dispersing, and he said, Ala rislikum, don't go anywhere. I'm not going to do anything to you. And he read that ayah of the Quran. أَفَتَأْتُونَ السِّحْرَ وَأَنْتُمْ تُبْصِرُونَ? What are you coming? What are you doing this for? And you're supposed to know better. So Al-Wali, the Amir, the Wali took Jundub and held him, made Al-Habs, held him. When the news went to Salman al-Farisi, the third companion, he said about those two, لَبِئْسَ مَا صَنَعَ, the bad thing that both of them did, both of them. He said, as for Walid ibn Uqba, it was bad for him to bring a magician in front of the people. It's bad. What is he doing? And that's a sign of making the inkar against the leader in public. So this thing that some Salafis have today, where they are doing this thing where we have to love the hukam, and I don't know where you get that from. I don't know. Because the companions made inkar on the leader, but they made inkar not to make fitna, and they didn't make fitna. The tabi'een and the followers of the tabi'een, they made inkar, depending upon what happens. So this thing that any and everybody makes inkar, that's not right. And this thing, no inkar, alani, that goes against what we clearly find. He said both of them did something bad. He said, as for the Wali, the Amir, he shouldn't have never brought that magician in front of the people. And he said, and as for Jundub, he should have never taken out the sword in front of the leader. You can't take out the sword in front of the leader and you execute someone. That's the responsibility of the leader in Al-Islam. That's not their responsibility of Amr, Bakr, and Zayd. You can't do that. So he said, may Allah be pleased with him, Haddu sahir wa sahira ad-darbatu bis-sayf. The had for the male magician and the female magician, they should be killed. That comes as a hadith, but it's not authentic. It's an authentic effort on Jundub. May Allah be pleased with him. So in regards to the issue of magic, Ikhwani, it's not a tough situation, tough issue. At the top of the list, it's a major sin in Islam. Number two, we have to believe in it in a way that it's balanced. Don't go too far to the right. Don't go too far to the left. Our Nabi and our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was mashhur. There are different types of magic. He says sallallahu alaihi wasallam, inna min al-bayan la-sihra. Verily, some speech is magic. Some people, they can do poetry and they can speak in a way, it's like magic, like music. There are certain songs that I know I speak on behalf of probably all of you. If you hear that song can remind you of when you were a child, when you were young. That song can remind you of when you first got married. That song can remind you of things at a particular time, because that music has that effect. But does that mean that the musician is a sahir and therefore you hit him with the sword? Doesn't mean that. So there are different types of magic. The magic that is kufr, takes you outside of Islam, and the magic that you shouldn't do, but it's not this kind of magic. It's the sleight of hands where people play around with, it's not really happening. They did not cut that man in half. The box was made like that. They didn't saw him in half, and those types of issues. So that is today's naqid from the nawaqid. If you brothers have any questions about what was mentioned today, you could put your question forward. Real easy class today, inshallah. We would have gone on to the next one, but the next one needs more explanation. You brothers have any questions?